Okay, so we've heard from many of you sharing some sources about a health concern that's popped up recently.
Yes, and we wanted to really take a closer look together.
Exactly. Help you cut through the noise, understand what it means for, your health, your peace of mind.
So today we're doing a deep dive into this pretty critical alert from the FDA.
It's about counterfeit Ozempic, right? The 1 milligram injection units found here in the US.
That's the one. We're mainly looking at the official FDA warning itself. That came out April 14th, 2025.
And there was a Fox News report just after April 16th that picked up on it too.
Right, so think of this as us sort of walking through these together, pulling out what you really need to know.
From a doctor's perspective, really helping you protect yourself, make informed choices. Patient safety is the goal here.
Absolutely, patient safety first.
Okay, so let's get right into the details then. The FDA announced that Novo Nordisk, they make Ozempic, and also Wegovy, which is similar but higher dose.
Right, for obesity.
Yeah. Novo Nordisk alerted the FDA they found, what was it, several hundred units of fake Ozempic.
Fake 1 milligram injection pens. And they'd somehow gotten into the U.S. drug supply. That's the worrying part.
And it's so important because, well, Ozempic is vital for people managing type 2 diabetes.
Controls blood sugar, yeah. And Wegovy, as you said, for obesity. These aren't just optional drugs for many people.
So counterfeit versions, that immediately rings alarm bells. Serious red flags for anyone relying on these.
Definitely.
And the FDA gave really specific identifiers, didn't they? Things people can actually check.
They did, and this is crucial for anyone listening who uses Ozempic or handles it. Pharmacies, doctors.
Okay, what are they?
Check the lot number. It's PAR0362.
PAR0362. Got it.
And the serial numbers on these counterfeit pens, they all start with the same first 8 digits, 51746517.
Okay. So let me just state this clearly. If you have an Ozempic 1 milligram pen, check it. If it has that lot number and a serial number starting with those digits.
Don't use it. Do not use it. That's the direct FDA advice. And don't sell it, don't distribute it, just get it out of circulation.
Protect yourself and others. But how? How did these fakes even get into the system? That's concerning.
Well, that's a key point. They didn't come through the normal authorized Novo Nordisk supply chain in the U.S.
So, like, illegitimate channels.
Exactly. The FDA specifically said outside the Novo Nordisk authorized supply chain, which raises immediate questions about unregulated sources.
Yeah. Where are they coming from? How are they ending up potentially, in someone's hands?
It's a huge risk. When you bypass the regulated supply chain, all those safeguards,
Quality checks, safety protocols.
all gone. You lose the checks and balances designed to protect you as a patient.
Okay, but the FDA is acting on this.
Oh, yes. They moved quickly. They actually seized the counterfeit products they identified back on April 9th.
Good. And they're trying to figure out what's actually in these fake pens.
Correct. The FDA stated they, along with Novo Nordisk, are testing the seized products right now.
To find out what they're made of, the quality, if they're safe.
Precisely. And it's an ongoing investigation, so they're still, digging into the whole situation.
That's somewhat reassuring, the vigilance, I mean.
It is. And there's another layer here. The FDA mentioned they know of 6 adverse event reports connected to that specific lot number, PAR0362.
Okay. Adverse events are never good.
True. But here's the nuance, and it's important. These 6 events don't appear to be linked to the counterfeit product itself.
Oh. How do they know that?
Because all 6 reports were actually submitted by Novo Nordisk.
So the manufacturer was already tracking issues with their own legitimate batch under that lot number.
It seems that way. So yes, there were reports for that lot, but the current evidence doesn't tie them to the fakes specifically. It avoids unnecessary panic, but still shows the FDA is watching closely.
That distinction matters, and Novo Nordisk put out a statement too.
They did, emphasizing patient safety as their top priority, naturally. They mentioned Dave Moore, their EVP of U.S. operations.
What did he say?
He talked about how seriously they take counterfeit incidents and that they're actively working to alert everyone, patients, doctors, wholesalers, pharmacies.
Good. Hearing that from the manufacturer adds weight.
Absolutely. And that Fox News report you mentioned, it brought in another perspective.
Right, Dr. Brett Osborne, a neurosurgeon, but also focuses on longevity medicine.
Yes. And he prescribes these types of medications. So his view as a practicing doctor is really insightful here.
What was his main takeaway?
He really hammered home the dangers of cheaper knockoff versions, the kind people might find online or through, let's say, less reputable sources.
Because the real stuff can be expensive, unfortunately.
Exactly. That cost pressure might tempt people. but Dr. Osborne warned strongly against it. These fakes were often made in places with zero quality control, non-medical environments, hugely risky.
No quality assurance, he said.
None. When it's outside the regulated system, you just don't know what you're getting. Could be the wrong dose, could be contaminated, could be something else entirely.
He had a quote, didn't he? Something like that.
Yeah. When they're made in unregulated environments, there's no telling what you're putting into your body. Pretty stark.
Wow. And he was firm about only using the real deal, right? Pharmaceutical grade, prescribed by a licensed doctor.
Absolutely. He stressed that the risks with unregulated versions are just far too high. You lose all that essential manufacturing oversight.
It really drives home the advice we'd give as doctors. Stick to legitimate sources. Always.
He also made a point about who should be prescribing these. A medical doctor, licensed to write prescriptions.
Specifically mentioning maybe not, say, a nurse practitioner via telemedicine in some setups, or certainly not someone like a chiropractor.
Right. It's about ensuring proper medical evaluation and ongoing care from a physician qualified to manage these powerful medications.
And the online purchasing risk. He warned about that too.
Big time. Buying Ozempic online from unverified sources, unless it's a known licensed pharmacy processing a valid prescription from your doctor.
You just don't know. Source, ingredients, safety, it's all unknown.
Precisely. His final thoughts really summed it up from that clinical perspective.
What were they?
That these drugs, like Ozempic, are powerful tools. Very effective when used correctly under proper medical supervision.
But dangerous otherwise.
Very dangerous in the wrong hands. Or, if they're fake. He emphasized always consulting a healthcare provider with the right training and experience. Prioritize safety above all else.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the key takeaway is pretty clear. Counterfeit Ozempic is out there in the U.S. supply chain. It's serious. We need to be vigilant.
We do.
Yeah.
And the actionable step for anyone listening who uses the 1 milligram Ozempic pen, check it now or as soon as you can.
Look for lot number PAR0362.
And a serial number starting with 51746517.
If it matches, stop using it. Call your doctor immediately.
And report it to the FDA as well.
Definitely. And this whole incident, it's just a stark reminder, isn't it, about the risks of getting any prescription drugs from sketchy sources, especially online.
Absolutely. Stick to licensed pharmacies. Stick to prescriptions from qualified medical doctors. That is always the safest path. Protects your health.
It really is.
And, thinking beyond just this one case, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? What does this say about the broader security, the integrity of our pharmaceutical supply chain?
Yeah. What questions should we be asking our doctors, policymakers?
And make sure the medicines we rely on are actually what they claim to be and safe. Now and, going forward. Something to think about.